Alright lads, it is the Metagoblin here. Today we're doing a vanilla server hunter leveling guide. In this video I'm going to give you numerous methods to drastically increase your leveling speed. I'm also going to be teaching you all there is to know about hunter. I mean, I've been making loads of mistakes throughout to this level, and I wish I'd known certain things before I started leveling, because I could have probably leveled a lot faster. So the biggest question you're probably going to ask first of all when you're going to start leveling is which spec to choose. Now I would recommend Beast Mastery, especially for a beginner. Marksman is probably probably just as good, or maybe, I don't know, it's just it does a little bit more damage, but the thing about Beast Mastery is it's going to keep you alive. It's going to be much more tanky spec. It's basically going to turn your pet into a big tanky DPS monster. It's going to have more health than you, and it's going to do more damage than you. And you're not going to take any damage, and you're going to survive really well. And if you go into Marksman, there's probably a higher chance that you're going to die, and when you die you have to Spirit Res and run as many graveyards in vanilla, so it wastes a massive amount of time. So survival is a very key aspect of leveling faster in vanilla, something you actually have to think about. So the spec, my spec right now is a bit wrong. I wouldn't recommend this improved aspect of Hawk, because it's never going to proc, plus you're never actually going to be in that aspect. You're going to focus more on being an aspect of a cheater most of the time. I would recommend going for endurance training instead, and definitely the armor rating, improve revive pet, and then really you're just focusing on increasing your pet damage as much as possible. See, I'm level 32 now. I haven't gone for any of these more survivability talents. I've just focused primarily on damage. Probably one of the main reasons why Beast Mastery is probably the fast leveling spec is because of this talent here, which is definitely going to be more beneficial until you get to level 40. It's basically an extra 6% speed increase to your aspect of a cheater. Here you also have an ability to increase the movement speed of your pets, so your pets are going to go into combat much faster, so you're going to go into combat much faster. So again, that's just faster killing. I mean, I'm not up to this point yet, but I definitely recommend these talents here. That's what I'm going to get next. It's a massive damage increase, and then I'm going to get Frenzy. I might get some of these, like the stun and stuff like that, but really primarily I'm just focusing on damage. So as soon as there's no more damage talents in this tree, I'm going to go into this tree, probably try and get aim shot and this improved hunter's mark as fast as possible. So yeah, just focus damage, and survival, but always prioritize damage over survival. So I'm going to quickly go through some general tips before I start talking about add-ons, macros, and talking more about the pet. First thing I'd recommend is always stay in aspect of a cheater. Unless you're in a situation where you have to stay still for a long amount of time, perhaps there's a group of mobs in a certain area, then yeah, go into aspect of a hog. But if you're travelling, through a zone, killing a mob, running a bit, killing a mob, then you definitely just want to stay in aspect of a cheater. It's going to increase your speed a lot more. Another thing that's going to massively increase your leveling speed is tracking. You should be using tracking all the time. Say you're killing a humanoid mob, then put humanoid tracking on, as you can see I'm doing it now. And you can see where mobs are on the map, so you might be looking in a zone and you might go the wrong way where a mob isn't. But with tracking, you can see precisely where a mob is, so you're not wasting a walk, if you know what I mean. You can see where a mob is, and then you just do it. And another trick is using Eagle Eye. Eagle Eye is so underrated. You should be using Eagle Eye all the time, especially in Thousand Needles, where you can barely see around the corner. What I've been doing is I've been using Eagle Eye like this. Obviously I don't need it in this kind of zone, but as you can see, I can see all these alliance players. I'm not going to go over there. That's another thing with tracking in Eagle Eye. You can see where enemy players are, and so you obviously just want to stay away from them. But you can just look around the corner, and if there's your mob there, if there's your quest mob there, then you go over there. And obviously if it's not there, you just keep looking. So it basically stops you from walking somewhere and it being a waste of time. Stops you from wasting a walk. For professions, I'd recommend basically no professions. Is this guy trying to kill me? Just no professions, other than first aid. First aid, it's definitely helpful because you're going to get your health back up faster than eating. So I definitely recommend messing around with first aid, because you pick up cloth all over the spot and you can just easily level it. But professions, I mean, it's probably just going to add a few hours to your leveling time, and leveling professions is going to be faster when you get to level 60 anyway. So you may as well just wait and do professions when you max level. Last bit of general advice is don't train all of your spells, because most of the time you don't even need them, and you're going to spend a lot of money, and you want to save money so that you can afford the mount at level 40. For instance, I'm not training my melee abilities, because I barely use them. I mean, I probably should get them, but I'm not doing it. I'm not getting abilities like, I don't know, like advanced wing clip. I mean, wing clip's just there to do the slow. I'm not really using it for the damage, so I'm not advancing the ranks in it. I'm just going to get it the rank 1, does its effect. And like Ice Trap, a freezing trap for instance, you know, you just get the rank 1 and stick with that, you'll be fine. Okay, so the next big question people ask is, what kind of pet? Okay, so level 1 to 30 is different to the pet you can need level 30 to 60 because of the abilities that pets can learn. I would recommend level 1 to 30 either a boar or a raptor. The reason why I choose a boar is because of charge. Okay, charge will get you make sure you beast lore a pet first, a beast first, to check whether he actually has charge. Otherwise, it's not really worth it. But anyway, charge, obviously he's going to get the pet into combat a lot faster, and also it's going to increase the damage of that first hit. And I think that kind of like makes it even to the raptor. Raptor has 10% more damage, but the fact that the boar gets into combat faster, he probably gets about 2 extra hits in an entire fight than a raptor, and that probably balances out the 10% damage increase that a raptor has. A raptor is also very fast as well, so I'd recommend either a raptor or a boar. Over level 30, I would recommend a cat, a tiger. At the moment I have a tiger. This is because of Dash. Dash is going to get the pet into combat again very, very fast, and it also has a 10% damage increase. Raptors and cats are the fastest damaging pets. And I would also recommend getting a cat, like the Stranglethorn Tiger, for instance, probably the best pet you can get from level 30 to 60. He has a very low attack speed, so he attacks like 1.2 seconds, or something like that. And when a pet attacks very fast, he's going to generate more aggro, isn't he? Generally, because he's attacking more often. That's just my fear. That's why I think you should get a low attack speed pet, just because he can probably generate a lot more aggro. And yeah, the cat just obviously is the most damaging, and it's going to get into combat faster than a raptor, and that's why I'd recommend going for the cat instead of a raptor, because a raptor cannot learn Dash. The most important advice I can give you for pets is make sure that you constantly keep his abilities upgraded. So what I mean by this, what I did, I leveled to to level 30 with a raptor and he had like rank 2 claw, and that was it. And I thought that the raptor would just gain abilities as he leveled up, but he doesn't. To gain abilities, I'm going to leave links in the description to websites which will basically explain all this. But you need to go into the world and train certain pets, tame certain pets to obtain certain abilities. So, say for instance, the other day, I had my raptor. He had basically no abilities. What I did is went to Ashenvale. I tamed a bear to get like rank 4 bite, and I trained a wolf to get rank 4 claw. And then I trained it to my raptor, and then my raptor was doing more damage. So, and it's also the same with Dash and all the other pet abilities. You need to go into the world and train a certain pet to obtain that ability. And you can't just like tame the pet either. What you have to do is you have to keep that pet around and maybe feed it once, and you just have to stay in combat with that pet for a long time. Make sure to turn all of the other abilities he has off, and make sure he just spams that one ability that you want to learn, and stay in melee range and just keep spamming it until you eventually learn that ability. And then you'll be able to train it to any pet you want, because it's basically like learning a spell in like a spell book. But for that you need training points. The only way to get training points is to level up your pet. So, it's difficult, especially if you tame a pet at the same level as you. But basically, as you level up, you'll be able to give your pet certain abilities. So there will also be certain abilities which you can get from a trainer. Now, I wouldn't recommend like spending all your money on all the resistances. I would just get the stamina and armor ones for your pet, because they're going to be the most useful. To train your pets, you need to open the beast training thing here, and this is how you train all your pets. These are all the abilities I've learned. I've definitely not learnt them all. But yeah, it's just as simple as that. But your pet needs a certain amount of training points to learn the abilities. Another mechanic with pets is the loyalty system. So as you can see right now, my pet is content, so he does 100% of normal damage. But if you keep feeding him meat, let's feed him some mystery meat. Wow, that worked pretty well. he's going to do an extra 25% more damage. This is especially important, not just for damage, but for keeping aggro as well. So make sure you always have a good supply of, or probably meat, because most of the pets eat meat. So if there's a butcher in, what's it called, Crossroads, and I always buy my meat from there, like these wild hog shanks. And that, you know, I always try to keep out 2 stacks. And the more you feed your pet, and the longer you keep your pet, his loyalty gains. At the moment, because I've just tamed this one, he has level 1. But if you go up to about level 6, and then he'll require less food to become more happy, which is obviously a bit more generous on your wallet. Now, I just quickly wanted to show you how I tame pets, the most optimal way to tame pets. You know, because when you're casting Tame Beast, your defense is lowered, so you take a lot more damage. So what I recommend is opening with freezing trap here, right? And you kind of position yourself like this. You're going to pop concussive shot like that, and then you're going to spam tame pet like this. Okay, I'm not actually going to tame the pet. And he goes into ice trap, and then you get a lot of taming time before the pet can do any damage. So it's just a bit more healthier, isn't it? And there you go. That's the best way to tame pets. So let me go through some add-ons for you. As you can see, my interface is pretty clogged up with a lot of information. So on the right here, I have the Vanilla Guide add-on. Obviously, I'm going to leave links for all of these in the description. This is basically, you must have heard of Joanna's leveling guide. It's basically a website you can go on, and it tells you which quests to do in which order and where everything is. And it's basically telling you how to level, but it doesn't tell you precisely where to go all the time. But this add-on is basically that guide, that online website guide, turned into or an add-on, and you can just go through the steps like this. It's basically like a leveling add-on. And it just gives you all the information. Am I going to get? I think I'm going to get ganked. No, whatever, you faggot. And this will just, it just tells you how to level in the fastest way possible. And as you can see on the left here, this is my questy add-on, and basically it's basically what's a questing add-on, and it's kind of like well, it's very simply just tells you where all the quest information is, like where the quest items are, where the mobs you have to kill, where you can accept quests, where you have to turn your quest in. It basically just tells you what to do. And you put these 2 add-ons together, and without a doubt, you will never be stuck. Because obviously, when you're stuck trying to find a location for a certain mob, for a certain quest, it wastes time, and you're going to save a massive amount of time with these 2 add-ons. So, for the last bit of this video, I'm going to go through a load of macros. The first macro here is, I don't know why I call it boom. It's basically, it's going to pop Hunter's Mark, and it will also get your pet to start attacking, and it will also get him to charge or dash whatever you have. So I have a keybind to 1 at the moment, so there you go, pet's going in, I wait for the pet to get there, and there you go, it's just simple as that. Hunter's Mark's all-in-one macro piece of piddle. So one of the big disadvantages of aspect of a cheater is the fact that you get hit, you know, you get dazed and you get slowed, and it's really irritating. So with this macro here, this macro is basically going to tell your pet to stop attacking and start following you. Obviously put your name where my name is here, and it'll be as simple as that. So I want you to imagine that I'm going to aggro this pet when I run up to him. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like, I'm going to tell my pet to attack it. I'm going to kind of go on a loop like this, and then I can, you know, safely run past. I'm going to tell my pet to follow me, and obviously he's taking the aggro. I then do it again. Just wait around. He's attacking, and we can continue. Same again. It's kind of like that. So it stops you from getting hit by mobs, so you can just run through like hordes of mobs on in any zone without getting attacked, hopefully. This macro is one of my own design. No, it's not really what you know. This is a stance macro, so you're just gonna press a 1 button, you can just switch between aspect of a hawk and aspect of a cheetah. This macro here, it's basically an attack macro. I don't think you actually need to make this macro. This will just you don't even need to like acquire a target to start attacking with this macro. So like if I press it there, I mean it's just gonna, I didn't need to like manually target him. But you should always make sure you keybind you can literally just get to, what is it, auto shot. You can literally just put auto shot on your bars. Make sure you always keybind it, because when you cast Hunter's Mark, when you're in range, I think someone's about to gang me. No. So when you cast Hunter's Mark like this, you basically stop attacking, which is really irritating. Like this. And then you have to kind of wait for the global to come back, and then you obviously pop your Serpent Sting. But what you can do is just press 6 like that, so you start attacking faster rather than doing this, waiting and then going to Serpent Sting. You can just start attacking. It just saves a lot of time. I also have this other macro here. I'm going to tell my pet to stop attacking so I can show you, and it's just I'm not even targeting him. If I press this macro, it's going to start attacking, and it basically pops all your melee abilities into one macro, so you can just spam that whenever he gets into melee range. This macro here is very simple. It will it's just a ground macro. I spam this in certain situations, and that's pretty much all I can teach you. If you have any more questions, obviously leave them in the comment section below. My name is Metagoblin, and so my next video. Ciao.